Lord Mayor, local dignitaries, members of the council, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a very joyous occasion. It's one that I've looked forward to for a very long time. And today I feel like the proverbial dog with two tails. And I can't begin to describe the amount of joy in me at being here today to witness this historic unveiling. I'd like to start by thanking a few people. Firstly, of course, to His Worship Mayor, Councillor Wallace Brown, for being here today and for carrying out this unveiling of the commemorative plaque to the late Ruby Murray, my ex-wife. It's a great satisfaction to me to know that Ruby's home city of Belfast has chosen to honour her in this very superb way. It will be a lasting tribute to a show business personality who became a great star. And she did Belfast proud in her achievements throughout her career in show business. She became a world record breaker. So thank you once again, my Lord Mayor, for honouring Ruby in this particular way. Thanks also to the various members of the Belfast Council who have worked very, very hard today organising this event. I've been in touch with a number of them over the telephone for many months, and they've been very helpful to me, and they've made me feel very welcome today. So thank you to all of those people. Individually, first and foremost, I would like to thank Ruby's very best friend, Mary Murphy. Mary has not been awfully well of late, but I am delighted to see her here today. And to say thank you, Mary, for being here. Thank you for playing piano for Ruby so beautifully in venues all over the world. And thank you too for being there when Ruby needed you. And that goes for me too, Mary. Whether it was night or day, you were always there. Thank you for being a special friend. I'd like to also thank Eddie McElwain of the Belfast Telegraph, because Eddie was very kind to Ruby throughout her entire career in all the articles that he wrote about her, and believe me, there were many. So to Eddie, I would say, both Ruby and I appreciated everything that you did, Eddie, and we're very grateful. Thank you, Eddie McElwain. Next, thank to Frank Bowles. You've probably met Frank Bowles this afternoon. When I decided to write a book about Ruby, I was very fortunate. I met up with Frank, who was a friend of a pianist that played for Ruby. Frank decided to retire to Spain, but instead of actually laying back and enjoying his retirement, he decided to write. And in doing so, he set up a new newspaper called the Costa del Sol Golf News. And then he did a biography of Tony Daly, who was a friend of Ruby's and a friend of mine. And I approached Frank and asked him if he would help me with the book, and I'm very grateful to him, and it's been his true professionalism that saw me through, and I'd like to thank him very much. Thank you, Frank. Then a special collective vote of thanks to all of Ruby's special, fanatical, staunch fans, some of whom are here today. You were absolutely wonderful to her, and I want you to know that Ruby valued you very highly indeed. She was all too well aware that she would never have become the big star that she did without you being there to buy the records and to see her and support her in all her live entertainment throughout the British Isles. So it wouldn't be right for me to try and individualise names, but may I say to those fans that are here and those who will probably look in on it, thank you, each and every one of you. You know, there's an old expression that says you don't know someone until you've lived with them. I was highly privileged. I met Ruby. I fell in love with and I married Ruby. I came to know her very well. She was the most sincere, natural person with a fantastic sense of humour. She was a very gentle lady, very feminine, very fragile, very delicate. And just like the beautiful rose, she could so easily be crushed. Despite her vast show business experience, touring in her native Ireland for many years, when stardom was thrust upon her, because of her deep sensitivity, she found great difficulty in handling that stardom. Fame and fortune meant very little to Ruby. That's why she was so unique in a profession that can at times be very harsh. I can assure everyone here that Ruby told me many times that she would have been far happier staying here in Ireland with the artists that she appeared with, touring around in those little fiddle shows. She had to pay a very high price for fame and fortune. During her career, many things were written about Ruby. Some of them were very good, some not quite so good. Some were highly complimentary, while others were perhaps a little critical. But there were some that were so far removed from reality and the truth. Music and singing was Ruby's entire life. That's what she lived for, to sing. And just like all married couples do, we used to listen to our favourite music. Every married couple does that. And when the two children came along, Julie and Tim, we became a family unit. And when we were travelling long distance miles in the car to perhaps the show that Ruby was doing, we had a catalogue of songs that we used to harmonise to. Songs like Michael Rode the Boat Ashore, Soon It's Gonna Rain, Hang Down Your Head, Tom Dooley, and Lemon Tree. Julie and Tim took care of the melody, and Ruby and I added the harmonies. You should have heard us. We were great. I can remember when Ruby was in the maternity hospital and she was about to give birth to one of our two children. And I told her stories about some of the wonderful musical shows that sadly no tour anymore. And I related the story of the Desert Song to her. A beautiful show with that debonair, dashing character in it with a flashing blade, the Red Shadow. And Ruby was absolutely fascinated by the story and couldn't wait to get a record of that particular show, because she fell in love with the music and with the words. She could be deeply moved by music. She could be deeply touched by the words of the song. The lyrics were absolutely vital to her. And we discussed many of the vast number of songs that Ruby recorded over the years, some of them had outstanding lyrics. One was a particular favourite of ours. It moved her. It moved me. I hope it might move you. Listen to some very beautiful words. It's called What Could Be More Beautiful? A sea of stars, a cool midsummer breeze, the dew on orchids, the rustle of leaves, the quiet magic of silhouetted trees. What could be more beautiful? The hush of evening, so peaceful and so still. The brilliant glow of the moon beyond the hill. The sudden sigh of a lonely whippoorwill. What could be more beautiful? What could match that moment when the dawn paints the sky and sets up the scene before the birds start to fly? To want to please you and then to learn I do. To dream you need me and to have my dreams come true. To know you loved me as much as I loved you. more beautiful. I will always be eternally grateful that Ruby made her entrance into my life. She created a brand new scene. She came, she sang, and she danced on my stage. She lit up my life. The breeze of her arrival was like a breath of fresh air. But the breeze of her passing blew my candle.